What do you think is the best US state? California is by far the best state in the USA. I've lived on the East Coast for 4 years and in the Midwest for 4 years, and I've been to at least 20 states. There's truly nothing like California. From the coasts, the mountains, the deserts, the redwood and sequoia forests, the national parks, the unique vibe of the cities, and the perfect weather, there's nothing like it. Not perfect by any means, and it'll cost you an arm and a leg, but it's totally worth it. You can do anything you want year-round, and there's truly something for everyone. I lived there for 25 years and left and never plan to go back, so I'm almost ashamed to admit that it might be Florida. The economy is usually pretty great, beaches, the Keys, the entire defense program on the East Coast, all the theme parks, the Bay Area on the West Coast, the weather. I don't like to admit it, but it does have a lot going on for it, and while yes, a lot of the crazy people in the world seem to figure their way into Florida, there's a lot of really normal good people there too. Born-raised in Los Angeles, California. Have lived in SF, SJ, Barber, Louisiana and OC. CA was the best state at least until the early 90s. Today there are too many people, too much traffic, too many undesirables, and a total disregard for the cleanliness of the state. The place is trashed, excluding the few exceptions like Bel Air or Newport Beach. Extremely sad to see the deterioration of what was one of the greatest places in the world. I have lived in several places in England and 6 US states. PA, NJ, Wisconsin, Colorado, MD, Mass. Colorado was pretty bad. Mass is great but very cold in winter. Wisconsin used to be nice back in the 50s-60s, but again, it was very cold. For us, the Baltimore area is incredible. We live there currently. For those who say it's violent, believe me, Colorado is much more violent. I like Ohio. Specifically the Cleveland area. Nothing fancy. But a great place to raise a family. Great restaurants, 3 major sports teams, a casino, and a lot to do. Affordable cost of living. It's not glamorous, but where it is? Unless you live in NYC or LA. Those places are fine to vacation. I also like the 4 seasons and changing of the weather. I love Michigan 4 seasons, the weather's not bad, lots and lots of fresh water if you like the city. Detroit and the metro area rocks. If you like the outdoors, we have huge beautiful forests and more beautiful shoreline than almost any other state in the country. Also, I will give a shout out to the Upper Peninsula, which is pure God's country. Virginia, and that you have the mountains and the beaches all in the same state. The wine industry is good, as is the beer and distilleries. We get all 4 seasons and not too heavy on the snow unless you're in the mountains. Hiking is also amazing along the A2, especially in the fall. Music scene is pretty good, at least in Richmond, Massachusetts. Progressive politics. Well-educated populace. Great healthcare. Lots of nature. Western MA is gorgeous, tons of hiking, swimming holes everywhere. Skiing. Swimming on the coast. Easy to get to Boston if you want a little culture. 4 seasons with incredible colors in the fall. Massachusetts has everything. It's obviously New York. Taxes suck, but besides that, Adirondack High Peak Wilderness is the most beautiful place in the world, and then drive 4 hours south and you're in the cultural center of the universe. And no forest fires, tornadoes or hurricanes. 4 beautiful seasons. Can't see how any other state comes close. While there are things I dislike about California, I think it is the best state for many reasons. The climate is amazing, and it is the only state I know of where you can snow ski and surf on the same day. There is lots of room, and it is definitely the most diverse state in the USA, and there is plenty to see and do. States is probably too wide of an area. California has SF and Death Valley. Kansas is Choco and Nowheresville. Florida has, well, I'm sure some areas are just great. New York has NYC and the Adirondack. Point is, I like where I live specifically, but I wouldn't say that my state is the best state as a whole. Tennessee. I never been, but it seems a good mix of out in the country but still some city like Nashville and Memphis. I want to be somewhat near a city, so I have work as I'm an electrician. And it's not as cold as where I am now, Illinois, north of Chicago, and not as hot as Florida. I hate Florida's climate. Washington. In summer, when the US map is practically solid red with temperatures over 100, coastal Washington is in the 70s. We have mountains, forests, islands, ocean, beaches, and a solidly democratic state government, so public policy is largely sane. And both our US senators are women. California is the best state in the USA. I have lived in the Midwest, Minnesota, East Pennsylvania, Hawaii, and now California. Cali, for all of its many flaws, is the most beautiful state that offers both urban and rural living. It's stupidly expensive though, but you only live once. North Carolina blows. Don't come, it has both mountains and beautiful beaches, the second largest estuarine system in the US, incredible public and private universities, the Research Triangle, some decently sized metropolitan areas not too big, and tons of good regional foods and culture. Cali. 5th largest economy in the fucking world. Most populous state. Could be a massive country on its own. Entertainment, national parks, everything. It's way too expensive, I get it, and if you're a conservative you'll complain about whatever as you worship the orange Nazi Cheeto. Anyone not saying California is either lying, politically ignorant, or has never been there. I've been to all states, but Mississippi you don't want to go, and it is by far, and by a long distance, the best. It has everything the other states have and more. Not even a competition. Tennessee, North Carolina, Vermont, Nebraska. Yes, I said Nebraska. If you're someone who lives for entertainment and nightlife, maybe not for you. But if you're looking to raise a family, have low cost of living, and low stress in your life, it is a fantastic state to live in. I have only lived in Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska, and Michigan. My favorite is Nebraska. Quality of life, low crime, decent cost of living, some nice college towns like Lincoln, people are overall polite and educated. It has way fewer racist people than Indiana, for example. Kinda depends on what you're into and how much money you have. If I had a trust fund millions of dollars, I'd buy oceanfront property in Hawaii. Otherwise San Diego, California. I was born and raised in Wisconsin. For people who love to hunt and fish, this place is amazing. Pretty much Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, and Alaska all amazing. The only real complaint is how expensive it is to live in West Coast states, and some of the major cities are shitholes, but they all have a lot to do and great scenery. Lived in NC, FL, TX, VA, DC, NV, and CA. CA is my favorite so far. Can go from the desert, mountains, forest, and beach in the same day if you drive fast enough. FL is home, but next to least favorite state where I live, Texas sucks. Best US state for what? In terms of discovering nature, I'd say California. Definitely the most diverse state for nature exploring. Raising a family? That would be a good question. Which US state is the best for raising a family? Wyoming by far. Perfectly located. Low population. I mean low. And Old West feel. You feel like you're in Alaska, so you must be suited for it. But it's fantastic and not far from cities that have everything you need. I've lived in 3 and driven across the country twice. They're mostly good. Except New Jersey. Sorry if you're from there, but things have never gone right for me in Jersey. That said, I really like Maine. North Carolina. Moved here 35 years ago and never wanted to leave. We've got the mountains and the beaches. Great universities and colleagues, and the cost of living is reasonable. Southern culture at its finest. Answering the question is defying why we have differing states to begin with. Don't like your state? Good, leave it and find another you do. It's beautiful. It's freedom. It's our United States of America. Pretty happy in central Maine. Extremely low crime, everyone has guns, wages are low, unfortunately winter is long, but besides that I love it here. 44 years I was born and raised here. The way life should be. Maryland, it has beaches, mountains, and it's close enough to major cities. You can get to NYC by train in 3 hours. Only downside is how far it is from CO, which is the real best state if I have to admit it. I've lived in Colorado all my life, I love it. California is a close second, I fucking love Cali and would probably live there too. Just got back from Seattle, I have no idea why anyone lives there. Washington State, I live in a forest on an island. It's so incredibly beautiful that it still blows my mind. I'm from Orange County, San Diego, and can confirm California is not the best state. You're absolutely right, I forgot to mention the west side of the state. Lake Michigan shoreline might be the most beautiful in the country. Grand Rapids is pretty sweet also. I lived in Colorado for the last 7 years and just moved to Wyoming. I absolutely love it here. It's perfect if you just want some space to get away from people and relax. I think New York is pretty amazing. Including what is probably the most important city in the country, lots of natural beauty, a great lake, and a good place to live. Massachusetts. Top-tier education, healthcare, wages, quality of life, HDI ranked top in the world, history, beautiful scenery, 4 seasons, not insane politics. Washington hands down, I lived there briefly and I miss it every day. Unfortunately I am in Florida, man. For some reason people want to live here. I'd Kauai, California. As long as you avoid the bad stuff, you're in paradise in every way. Sunny beaches, great forests, great food, great people, super accepting and inclusive. Which ones have the highest cost of housing? Market forces don't lie. Hawaii, California, and Washington are all absolute bangers of states to live in. Shout out for Oregon. Wouldn't touch Portland, but I loved Eugene while I lived there. Driving around that state sightseeing was so chill and beautiful. Wild and wonderful. West Virginia. It is an amazing state with gorgeous forests, bridges, and a very low population density of very hospitable people. California. Nothing even comes close. Beaches, mountains, deserts. Where else can you ski and surf in the same day? 6th largest economy in the world. From South Carolina. I love it, but it sucks. Out of all the states I've been to, I love New York and Maine the most. Texas can die in a fire. As a Georgian, not Georgia or at least not Atlanta. Atlanta is too ghetto and violent now. I can't wait to move. I wanna move to Salem, Massachusetts. Probably California had the most beautiful scenery and most fun cities. But I wish it weren't as humid as it was the last time I was there. It's all shit. The rich stay in their own private businesses and home while keeping it dirty and shitty as fuck for everyone else outside. I'm from Ohio, lived there. New Orleans, Dallas, Atlanta. Retired and traveled US for couple years. Found Prescott, Arizona. Very pleased.